One second. Yeah. So everyone, welcome to the online position paper workshop hosted by AUSMUN. This is me, Sarvagya Sharma. I am the Director of Research at AUSMUN. With me, I have my colleagues, Noor Alain Imran. She is the Deputy Director of Research, and Shania D'Souza as well, who is the Deputy Director of Research here. So before we begin, let me just show you the agenda. We will be covering what is a position paper first. Then we will be talking about the different aspects of a position paper, the header and introduction, body guidelines, plagiarism, and credible sites. And at the end, the most important, the Q&A, which I believe a lot of you must have questions regarding position papers. So we'll cover that. So let's begin. First, what exactly is a position paper? Position paper can simply be summarized as a document that is argumentative and it summarizes your whole country's position on a topic. So whatsoever is expected of a delegate to say in the committee, like, their country stance, the basic parts, the country stance, what are the proposed solutions, what is the history of the topic according to the country, everything is given in a written format in the position paper. The position paper basically gives the chairs a basic idea of what your country's foreign policy talks about the topics, and it includes various aspects of a topic. It's not only limited to just the proposed solutions or what your country's stance is. One another important thing I feel is that it talks about the history of the topic based on your country's foreign policy, because the history of the topic is the main element which countries use to justify their stance on any topic. Apart from that, position paper has many advantages. It gives you a starter. It's a basic starting point for your research, because it explains the basic elements of whatever your country talks about. Moving on, so the first part of a position paper is the header and the introduction. The header is a basic thing, on the left you write which country are you representing. I believe if you go to the AUSMUN websites as well, over there, there's a sample position paper. And over there, you can see a sample over there, how the header and introduction is written. The header basically consists of the country name that you're representing on the left, and on the right, which institution are you affiliated with. That's one part. Then the second part is the introduction, where you briefly tell what the committee is. You briefly introduce your country before you begin with the actual paper, which is the body. And now to explain the body, I will be yielding the floor to my uh, deputy, Noor Alain Imran. Thank you.
So when it comes to the position paper, there are three overall sections. So as Sarvagya said, the first one is the header and introduction. Then you have the part that covers topic 1 and then topic 2. So each topic itself, when you're discussing each topic, you must cover three things: the background, the country's position, and any possible solutions. So in terms of the background, it takes up 25% of the position paper. So you don't want to spend too much of your time focusing on this, because again, most people are kind of coming into the committee already having an understanding of what the topic is. You want to kind of focus on what's relevant and not be overly detailed. So aside from that, you want to introduce how your country links to the topic. So for example, if you're a nuclear state and you're an IAEA, you want to highlight that fact. You want to give a brief description of the current situation. So why is the topic so relevant now? And just kind of outlining what is happening right now and what are the most important parts of history. Then for the country's position. Yeah. No, Sarvagya, the next slide. Yeah. Then that's going to take up about 50% of the position paper. And you want to discuss your country, as in the country you're representing. So like, let's say you're a delegate of Malaysia. What is Malaysia's stance on the issue? And what is the role that Malaysia plays in the topic? Then you also want to look at past, present, and future policies and involvement with other international organizations. So now you want to be thinking not just within the UN, but looking at what other international organizations have done as well here. So WHO or whatever it may be. And then you also want to look at the effect that the topic has on your country itself. and what your country's stance is on previous UN action. Next is the possible solutions. And this is again going to take up 25% of the position paper, because again, most of the discussions within committee itself will be taking place on possible solutions. And this is going to be solutions for the issue based on your foreign policy. And it must coincide with the committee mandate as well. So you can't be in the General Assembly trying to make binding recommendations like would be appropriate with Security Council. And lastly, solutions should not just focus on your country's role itself, as in what you as your country can do, but also looking at how the international community, as in all committee members, can actually work towards this possible solution.
Okay, so here we have some basic guidelines that need to be followed before writing the position paper. They're basic, they have the word limit and all that. One important thing I want you all to take note is that plagiarism and the use of AI software for writing for papers will not be tolerated in the conference. Now, we are not against the use of AI or ChatGPT or anything for researching, but simply using it and copy pasting it in a position paper won't be tolerated, because that's not your work. That's the work of an AI bot, right? So you can use it for checking your grammar. You can use it for seeing information, background information, even though it has its own limitations. But simply using it and copy pasting the information on your position paper, or by rephrasing whatever is written on different AI softwares and all, it's not tolerated, and it will be treated the same way as plagiarism is. Moreover, the papers will be going through AI detection software, so there is no scope of using AI softwares and completely copy pasting whatsoever they mention. This will be dealt with by my deputy Shania D'Souza.
Okay, so as Sarvagya rightly said, AI usually makes up information. So do not use it as a research tool. Use it to improve your paper in terms of like your grammar, just like we said. So, and in terms of, make sure you have it referenced properly to avoid plagiarism, like your content, and mention it in your bibliography because that's really important. In terms of credible sites, what we're looking for is like official government websites of different countries. International organizations also could be mentioned, like the World Bank, and of course, official UN websites, like, of course, the UN website, and then like UNESCO, then you have the one for SDGs, etc.
Okay, so everyone, that's from our side. And if you all have any questions regarding position play papers, please raise your hands so we can start with them. Hello. I cannot read. It's written in Arabic, but I've asked you to unmute. Okay, we'll move on to the next one then. Layla, I've asked you to unmute. So, yeah, could you?
Okay, yes, hello. If I were to quote someone or something in the position paper and it shows as plagiarism on your checker, is this going to be used against me?
Well, it depends on the writing style. So if you're directly quoting them and you're using the appropriate references, it will not be. But if you're not going to obviously give them credit for that, it will be treated as plagiarism.
Okay, thank you.
The next one, Sarah. Can you hear me? You're unmuted. Okay.
I think her mic doesn't work.
Okay. Okay, we'll
She
move
can
on to
put
the.
it in the
Yeah, you can write your questions as well in the chat, in the public chat as well. The next one is Muhammad Abu Bakr. Bakr. Yeah. Sorry if I mispronounced your names.
Yeah, no problem. Now I'm allocated in the Arabic League, in the Arabic version of the Arab League.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you have an Arabic position paper sample.
It must be there in the website. If it's not, it will be uploaded shortly as it was decided. The Arabic
I found
sample,
an English. I found an English sample for the Arabic League.
yeah, we'll be uploading one very soon on the website as well.
Yeah, I just have another question, please.
Yeah.
Are there no official formal translation for the points and motions for the Arabic speakers?
So, no, as of now, we don't have any translation, but that's a good point. I will look into that and we will let you all know accordingly once it's done.
Yes, please. Thank you.
The next one is Jana.
Yes, you mentioned a bibliography. Where exactly in the position paper should we include that?
The last, after you've written both the topics, just mention in the references of the bibliography that, you know, these are the sites that you've used.
Okay, great, thanks.
Thank you. The next one, Pranjali.
Hi, good morning. Good afternoon. I just wanted to confirm, since I haven't received my allocation yet, would I be eligible for an extension towards the position paper submission?
It's dealt by the chairs. So if you get your allocation late, you can email them and ask them for an extension, and they should most probably be providing one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. The next one is Lean.
Hello.
Okay.
When will we be receiving emails from our chairs? Because I haven't received one yet.
You will be receiving them shortly before the conference. You will not be receiving them now. It will be mostly around January.
Okay, and when are the position papers due?
The position papers are due in January. It must be mentioned in the website when exactly are they. They are generally weeks before the conference.
Okay, thank you.
Next is Layan.
Hello, yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so what if I got my response from the MUN late, like it was after the due date of the position papers, so what am I supposed to do? Because it's not my fault, you know?
Yeah, you can ask for an extension from your chairs if that's a special case. Can you hear me? Are there any more questions? Because I do not see any.
Sir Pragya, I think Sarah asked, how do I find my committee's email? So it's on your background guide of your committee. So just take a look, it's on the website.
Okay. I believe there are more questions on the chat as well.
Yeah, Idris is asking, I'm representing a country, but it doesn't talk about the given topic. What should I do? The committee allocation, the country matrix was decided in a way that at least every single country will have something to do with the topic that's being discussed. So yeah.
Make sure you research properly and see the indirect role that countries do play, because there are many ways in which countries they indirectly play an important role in a topic. And like many of the countries are already members of the real committee, so you know you can see how they are performing there as well. I believe, in the participant.
There's another question about how to find committee emails.
That's answered. It's in the background guide.
Okay, and there's also, I don't think there will be any practice or rehearsal sessions, anything like that.
Practice sessions for position papers or for delegates?
I think for delegates, that was another question. Will you hold a practice or rehearsal?
There will be a delegate training workshop around January end.
Yeah.
So over there, delegates can come and take part, but it won't be a rehearsal of any sort as of now. Let me. Some people they missed out during the first round. I'll ask them to unmute again. Okay, Laila Qasim.
Yeah. I was just wondering where I can find the recording for this meeting
It'll
if
be
I were to look back
yeah,
at it.
it'll be uploaded
Hmm?
on YouTube later.
Where?
On YouTube.
Okay, thank you.
There's this another person who wants to speak, but his name is in Arabic. I'll ask him to unmute again. I can't read it.
His name's Idris.
Yeah, please. Can you hear me? No, it's mute. I'll go on to the next one then. Marwa.
Hello. I had two questions. The first question is, when do you suggest we start working on our position paper?
I would say as soon as possible. I would say start it as soon as possible and try researching as much as possible because when you research for your position paper, it helps you in researching for your committee as of a whole. So the earlier the better, I would say.
Oh, okay. My second question is, which websites do you suggest we use to collect information on the position paper or on the topic?
Well, it mostly depends on your country. So the first and foremost, the important one is the official government websites. Let's say you're representing the United States, so obviously US government websites. Then you can go on to UN websites as well, then World Bank, IMF, and their websites as well. You can use international media outlets as well, such as Reuters, who are well known, but avoid using local media outlets that are, based in a country because there's a high scope of bias over there.
All right, thank you so much.
Problem. The next is Rifa.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon.
Mm.
I just wanted to ask if this PowerPoint shared will be uploaded somewhere because me and a few of my friends joined a little later, so we weren't here for the PowerPoint.
This recording will go on to YouTube. So over there, you could see the PowerPoint presentation again. The next one is Hamid. Ask him to unmute again.
Yeah, hi. My question is, how do you know an assigned country? When will we see the assigned country? Don't know what country I have to speak about.
You must have gotten an email about which country are you representing.
Okay, so I'll find the country there, right?
Yeah, you will find your allotment there.
Okay, and my second question is, can you give me a link to the email? Can you give me a link to the YouTube channel? Can you share it in the chat?
Yeah, we will share it later once this gets uploaded.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
The next one is Misbah.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, with the corruption in the media, I was asking if we can use news outlets as reliable sources of information. For example, like CNN or other news outlets, because sometimes the information used there is more biased than you would find like on websites, for example.
Well, I would say try sticking to bigger news outlets like Reuters and BBC. And it is aligning with your country's foreign policy, you can use CNN. Let's say you're the US and it's aligning with your foreign policy, you can use, but I would highly recommend you stick to international media outlets.
Yeah,
Um,
okay, thanks.
I also want to just say one thing here. Try and stick to independent media sources as well. Just because they do tend to be a bit more unbiased and reliable.
Okay, so the next one is Lean.
Hello. As we know, for each committee, there's going to be 2 topics. So should we only write 1 position paper or 2 for the 2 topics?
In one document, you write for 2 topics. Like, you will first highlight the first topic, write the paper. Then in the second, you highlight the second topic and write in the second paper. And then at the end, you use references. So it's whole.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. The next one is Sarah.
Hi, yeah, good afternoon. I just wanted to ask if there's any more like guidance about the position paper since some of us are new to this.
So you mean by for writing a position paper?
Yeah.
Well, so first and foremost, you can begin by looking at the background guide because that's the most important source of information that you can get because that's what the committee has agreed upon. And if your country is mentioned in the background guide, like let's say they're talking about Russia in the background guide, then that's a great start for you. But let's say, it's not, then you can look at the international organizations where your country is written in, is in, and then you can get the country stance from there. Or what you can simply do is just go to Google and type what your country is in this topic. Like, let's say climate change. So you can just go and be like France on climate change. And then you can get, what the government spokesperson and what these people have spoken about this topic. And then, as mentioned in the guidelines, you could first see the background, talk about the history, then you could go up to the second part of the background guide and talk about the present, your country stance, what all does it believe, and then, you could simultaneously build upon that by researching from different aspects.
Okay, thank you. Does the background guide come by email, like get sent to us by emails or on the website?
On the website.
Okay, thank you.
I believe Laila and Salma still have their hands up. By the way, if you all have asked your questions, please lower your hands so that we can avoid asking the same person again. I'll ask them to unmute again.
Okay, last question. I'm really sorry about this, but you said for sources to use UN official websites, government websites. Is using organization websites such as Amity allowed? Is it like preferred?
Yeah, it's fine as long as it's an international organization.
Yeah, okay, thank you. That's it. Thank you so much.
Again, the next one is Salma.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have not gotten my country or topic yet. I haven't received an email about them because I recently just got accepted. So do you know when I'll probably get them? Because everyone got them, I didn't.
Did you register lately? Like
Yeah,
recently?
I did.
Then you will be getting them soon.
Okay, thank you.
The next is Layan Motaz.
Hello, yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so what if I got a country that does not really play a role that is related to the topic, and I didn't really find much information about the country's role, etc. What am I supposed to do in this case?
I mean, see, the countries again are put in such a way that they play an indirect or a direct role into the topic. Maybe you could see if the country is a part of that real committee, right? Let's say you are Central African Republic in UNEP, right? So you can maybe see if Central African Republic is there in the real UNEP committee, and then you can, see how they're performing over there. You can go to Google and see that. And many of these countries, their UN missions, they have a website dedicated to themselves. From there also you can get information about the same.
Okay, thank you.
The next is Jana.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure that both topics in the position paper should reach the 1,200 word count or each topic alone.
Both the topics.
Okay, thank you.
The next is Hamid.
Yes, I checked my email and I didn't find a country to represent. Who's supposed to send it to me? Who do I ask? Is it my teacher? Is it the university? Who's supposed to send me the email of the country? Who do I
Are
ask?
you affiliated with a university, with an institution?
Sorry, what was that? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Are you affiliated with an institution or are you an individual delegate?
I'm an individual delegate.
Then you email the logistics department for that.
Email logistics department. Okay, thank you.
The next one is Sarah.
Hi, yeah, sorry, but I just wanted to ask because before my school or my organization had told me that we could sign up through the school, I had signed up individually as well. And then I think a few days later, I got an email saying to pay. And then I got an email, I think 2 days ago, saying that if I don't pay, then it won't count. But the thing is, I've already paid through the school. So do I just ignore it since it's automated emails, or do I just continue individually? I'm not sure.
For such topics, you can email logistics and clarify it with them, because we don't handle that.
Okay, then. Thank you.
Thank you. The last one is Hazim.
Okay, so basically, there are two Arabic committees. So in the Arabic League. So how am I supposed to know which one I'm in?
You will get an email from logistics again.
But I'm with an organization which is my school. So am I supposed to know this from the school or from the logistics team?
You can ask your school for that, and they can communicate with the logistics.
Yeah, okay, fine. Thank you.
In the chat, I believe there are some more questions. Maybe I may have missed out. Let me check. If my country has never taken part. Yeah, if your country has, one question is, if my country has never taken part in the committee, what should I write in the introduction? In the introduction, you basically mention a brief about the committee in general, and then a brief about your country. So it doesn't matter. And if you're talking about the introduction of the body, you can talk about what your country's stance is into the topic and what it feels about it and the history according to your country. I believe the other questions that were written over here have already been answered. There are more questions. Talal. Can you hear me?
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Will I get this record in my email?
It will be uploaded on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. The next one is Meena.
Hi, yes. I wanted to ask if my position paper should have if it's an argumentative essay or informative essay.
It's an argumentative one. Like especially initially, you can, when you mention about the history and all, it can be slightly informative because again, you're speaking it according to your own narrative. But especially when you're proposing solutions and giving a stance, make sure it's argumentative.
From my side, like argumentative from my side.
From your country's side.
My country. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
I believe Salma has her hand raised. Maybe another question.
No, sorry, I forgot to lower my hand.
Right. The chat. Okay. We have one more hand raised.
Yes, hello, will this be on YouTube?
Yeah, it will be on YouTube. Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay, seeing that we don't have any other questions, we are done with the session over here. If you all have any further questions that you want to ask, you can always email the research department. The email is research@ausmun.com. Apart from that, we will also be having Q&A sessions on Instagram, where you can talk about, where you can ask your position paper queries there, and they'll be resolved over there as well. So thank you everyone for your time. Have a nice break and see you all during the real conference.